Welcome to Knife Chats. In this video, we'll be looking at the RR1848 Pin Blade Trapper by Rough Ryder. If you like what you're seeing, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with friends, leaving a comment, and subscribing to my channel. Thank you.
So I recently went down Smoky Mountain Knife Works, dropped by for a little bit. I was on a budget, so I really didn't have a whole lot of money to spend. So I went by the Rough Ryder counter and started looking for knives, and this is one of them I picked up. Another one in the brown stag bone series. And surprisingly, for me at least, I picked up a trapper. It's not a standard trapper. It's got a couple things going for it that are different than a standard trapper. The first one you'll notice right away is the secondary blade is a pin blade, which is a big plus to me. And the next thing you'll notice is lengthwise, it's right at 3 3/4 inches. So it's a little shorter than a standard trapper. Standard trapper is 4 1/8 inches long. It's also a little longer than your typical mini trapper, which is 3 1/2 inches long. So, and if you notice, it's also kind of slim. So it's kind of like a slimline medium trapper, I guess. And it's in the stag bone, which I like. So that was one of the reasons I picked it up, because I like the stag bone. It's a good representation of a trapper without being a trapper. They actually call it a pin jackknife or something like that, or a pin jack trapper or something like that. I don't know. I'll insert the name in the video. But like I said, what I liked about it was it's got this pin blade on the front side, and that pin blade length is just shy of 2 inches, about 1 7/8 inches, with a cutting edge that's right at 1 1/2 inches long, which is a good size for a pin blade. And notice the half stop. Well, you'll notice it if I have it in frame. Good half stop on the blade. Really good action, nice and tight. And then the back side is your typical kind of California type clip, almost a halfway between a standard and a California clip on the back side here. Match striker pull, and again, nice half stop going on with it. Good action with it. The problem with it is a little bit of the nail nick is down there a little bit, so it's kind of tricky to get to, but not too tricky. I got used to it pretty quickly, and it's great action, and it's nice and tight, no wobble or anything. Blade length is just shy of 3 inches, probably 2 7/8 inches again, and the cutting edge is right over 2 1/2 inches. And as you know, it's a Rough Ryder, so it's made in China, and it features their 448 razor sharp stainless steel. I consider that steel right up there with the true sharp steel you find on a case knife. I don't know if the tempering is quite as good, but right out of the box is really good steel. Over time, you'll probably end up having to sharpen this a little bit more often than you will your case. Got the slant R Rough Ryder bolster up front, so you know it's one of the ones that was going to eventually be in the Colt series. Again, with the Federal shield, just like on the other Colt stag bone that I have so far. And then the ring nickel silver bolsters, brass liners, and so on and so forth. One of the things somebody pointed out on one of the web pages is the stag bone on here is very repetitive, and that you will see it in all of the other stag bone knives that are put out by Rough Ryder. And if you notice they're right. I mean, you can see some of the pattern over and over. More so, if you see here on this Colt, same stag bone pattern going on in it. Both of them have the same style of stag bone going on. Even back in the days when Marbles was using it, it's the same stag bone. See that little curly thing there? It's on both knives. If that's a problem for you, more power to you. I don't see it as a major issue. Yeah, it's not something you're going to see in nature or anything, but then this is bone that is jigged to look like stag. I'm more happy with this simply because the sides match really well. So the quality from side to side on the individual knife is good. Also, the Federal Shield is right there, and it's pretty deep into the bone, brass pins and such. Any case, for me, the fact that the stag is repetitive from knife to knife isn't a big deal. I think that's more of an issue that collectors will have, but for the individual person who's just buying one or two knives, they're not going to see it as an issue. Also, one of the things in the collector's eye that you can also say this is a plus is that you'll definitely know that all of these knives are from the same series, because the stag bone matches very closely from knife to knife. So that's kind of cool in some ways. So there you have it. That's my look at a Tobias approved trapper by Rough Ryder. And it's approved because it has a pin blade instead of a spade blade, and it's not the standard size. So pretty cool knife, and it's going to look really good with my other stag bone knives. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Knife Chats, and if you did, please like and share it with your friends. Comments are always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode of Knife Chats is up online. Thanks again. Hope to see you soon.